it's good to see you all. So this is the second cycle of Magic Wand. We did a first cycle, and at the end, I'll kind of go over where you can see previous sessions, but this is an all new cycle with some new content, updated content, and just a repeat of some of the content in kind of a different order. And what we're going to start with today, because we kind of ended with it last time, is we're going to really just start with lead generation today, specifically with kvCore. You know, this is stuff a lot of you who have been using kvCore know, okay? But it's going to be good, maybe refresher for some of you. It'll be new information to some of you. And we'll be doing this for a couple weeks, focusing on just lead generation, because that's what your agents want. That's what they expect. And they're, you know, wondering, why aren't you getting them leads, right? Where's my leads? You know, and so that's what we're going to focus on to start. Now, there's a lot to this. There's a lot of different pieces. And as we go in the next few weeks, we're going to focus on those pieces. And I'm going to be giving you homework. Here's where I want to start. Okay. Here's the number one thing you need to know about getting leads in kvCore. Ready? I want you to write it down if you can, unless you're Carolyn and driving. Okay. The number one thing you need to know about getting leads in kvCore is that kvCore is not a lead source in itself. I'm going to say that again. kvCore is not a lead source in itself. So I will hear a lot of agents tell me like, oh, I'm going to quit Zillow, or I'm going to quit, you know, buying leads from realtor.com, and I'm going to switch to kvCore. That's not a thing. kvCore is not a lead source in itself. What the number two thing you need to know is that kvCore offers a lead generation platform in which you can create squeeze pages and landing pages to attract to attract prospects to the website. So again, kvCore offers a lead generation platform in which you can create squeeze pages and landing pages to attract prospects to come and register on the website as new leads. What is the third thing you need to know? In order to get these prospects to come to the website, you have to take these lead generation links you created and post them on the interwebs in a variety of places. So again, the third thing you need to know is to get leads, to get prospects to click and register on your website, is you need to post these squeeze pages and landing pages out there on the interwebs to get leads to come into your website. And the fourth thing, there's number 4 that I want you to know about generating leads with kvCore. When we're talking about campaigns in relation to kvCore, we're not talking about advertising campaigns. We're talking about drip actions like emails, texts, tasks for you, drip actions that happen automatically as a result of a lead coming in. So again, number 4 is when we're talking about campaigns in regards to kvCore, we're not talking about advertising campaigns. We're talking about those drip actions, those follow-up actions that automatically happen when a lead comes in to kvCore. The 5th thing I want you to know, this is number 5 we're on now, is that when a lead comes into kvCore, they register on your website, they become a new lead, it goes into kvCore's CRM, goes directly into the CRM, and now they are added to your agent's database. So number 5 is when a lead registers on your website, becomes a new lead, they are directed right into your kvCore Smart CRM, and they are now added to your agent's database. So those are the 5 things that I wanted to clarify, because a lot of, when I talk to agents especially, this is not a concept that they easily understand for some reason. Okay, so some of you who maybe you've worked for other agents before, you've worked with other companies that did lead generation, these are concepts you might more understand better than an agent you work for. The number 6 thing that I want you to know about lead generation kvCore is your agent or the team that you're working with has to have a strong social media presence. So number 6, you have to have a strong social media presence. What does that mean? Number 1, you have a Facebook business page. Number 2, you have a Google My Business page. Number 3, you have a LinkedIn profile. Number 4, you have an Instagram page. And number 5, you have a YouTube channel. Those are the key ones that you need. I'll just kind of summarize. Again, number 6, your agent has to have a strong social media presence. And that starts with the following key social media platforms: Facebook business page, Google My Business page, LinkedIn profile, Instagram, either a business profile or creator profile, and then 5, a YouTube channel. Those are the 5 key ones. There's more, but those are some key ones. In addition, and I'll make this number 7, besides the social media presence, just the rest, the additional online presence comes from other profiles. So number 7 is other profiles being updated. What profiles am I talking about? Well, if they are a United States agent who is a member of the National Association of Realtors, they automatically have a realtor.com profile that they have to claim. And I'll be going over all this with homework, so don't worry. In addition, they're a member of a local association, their local board, and their local MLS. Those profiles have to be updated. Maybe they're in an area that has a next door neighborhood page, and they can claim a free next door profile, business profile. Zillow allows an agent to claim a free premier profile. So these are some different things. Again, I have homework for you that's going to give you the tools you need to help an agent make sure all their profiles and all their social media profiles are set up. Okay, but that's 6 and 7. Very strong social media profile, and that all their profiles that could be out there they could claim are claimed and updated. So those, I gave you 7 things that I wanted you to know about lead generation when it came to kvCore, and that's a good start. What I'm going to focus on today is actually creating the squeeze pages. So if this is, something that you guys are already really familiar with, I'm sorry, but some of you, this is brand new information, and some of you might need a refresh. This particular document, I'm going to put in the chat right now. And you guys will also get it in your homework. So no worries. And I'll also be posting it in the Facebook group and all that jazz. But this is a kvCore lead gen template that basically what you're going to be able to do is start creating squeeze pages that you can reference and note and look back on to track all the squeeze pages you're making in kvCore. There's also training that is in here, but what you're going to do is follow the directions. At the top, it says to edit this template, click on File and make a copy and save it to your own Google Drive, or download it as an Excel file on your computer if you have to, so that you can work in it. So if I want to work in this right now, for example, I'm going to go to File, make a copy, and I'm going to call this, I'm just going to put Sylvia Dana as my first name, my first and last name in the front. and then I'm just going to save it to my own drive. So I'm going to make a copy. So now that I've got this copy, now I can edit it and access it and do whatever I want to it. Okay. So here we've got this lead gen template. Now I just want to kind of point to you what resources are on here for you. And because we're going to go over some of these things in a couple weeks, but in more detail, but I just want to show you what's here, and you can dig into it now if you want to, especially those of you who are new to our program. This is the kvCore strategy calendar. If you click on it, it's going to take you to the strategy calendar where you can request getting the calendar. And this is a calendar I'm going to go in again in more detail later about, but it's a strategy you can follow every day, every week, and every month for posting and working in kvCore. Next, this is a video free on YouTube about my 5 tactics for getting a bunch of leads in one day. Now over here to the right, there's some resources here, and it says, learn how to create, post, and boost squeeze pages. Get Xanadu for 7 days free. You don't need to do that because you already have access to the full class of Xanadu. So I'll get into that. But Xanadu is a complete lead generation workshop on my training platform that you already have access to. Okay. So this template I give free to everybody. So that's why it, has like little things like you can get this, but if you want more, you got to buy it. You don't guys have to buy anything. Okay. I have another free video here, intro to seller leads with kvCore. And I just want to point out some of those resources, but let's start with some squeeze pages and actually building them. You'll notice it's got these steps. Number 1, see the examples below. Number 2, then create your own squeeze pages. And 3, start posting and promoting your squeeze pages. So simple. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. And so I'm going to start with one squeeze page, and I'm going to be giving a lot of nuances on it. Now, okay, so let's go ahead and start. So I give you these examples here. Okay, and they're kind of like an example of what to fill in here. And so this first example is, what if your agent already has their own listing and they want to be able to promote their listing from kvCore? We want to create a single property squeeze page. So I'm going to go into my kvCore. I'm in the back end here, and I want you to notice in my profile, I have my agent MLS IDs. I'm a part of 2 MLSs. Does anybody want to speak up and be brave and tell me what an MLS is? Phyllis?
An MLS, yes, ma'am. An MLS is multiple listing service that you can belong to at your local board, and you have access to all the listings that are out there.
Very good. Yes. So your agent is a member of a local board and also a member of an MLS. And if they're a member of an MLS, then all the listings that belong to the MLS will feed in to their IDX website. kvCore is an IDX website. Okay. And so on my profile here, I'm a member of 2 different MLSs, and I have 2 different MLS IDs here. What this does by having the MLS IDs in this profile correctly, then kvCore knows which of those listings from my MLS are actually mine. That's how it knows. Okay. So I can go into the back end here and go to listings and see all the listings. I can also go to this drop down that says my listings. I still have this one little sad listing I'm still trying to sell. But here it is. Okay, I've got this one listing and I want to create a squeeze page for it. Okay, so again, this is the back end, what I see, what you see on the back end, and kvCore is being very slow right now, so it's not populating pictures yet, but it will happen. We're going to get into helping your agent, modify the listing and all that kind of stuff, but we just don't have time for that right now. So I just want to show you a couple things. First thing I want to show you is here. I could click here and send via email. I mean, send a listing to somebody via email. I could also go here to more actions and do something like send a text. email to a specific group of people in the CRM by hashtag, etc. And I can also boost the property from here. What does that mean? That means I'm going to pay kvCore $60 to boost this property for me. You don't need to do any of that. All right. The other thing I want you to know is you're going to be able to see who the actual listing agent is here and their contact information. And then you're going to see this direct link. I'm going to click on the direct link. You will notice this link takes me to the listing on my own website. It's going to show your agent, meaning whose website is this. And then it's also going to say who the listing is listed by. Okay, there's nothing you can do about that. So even if this wasn't my listing, it's still going to show on the website. There's nothing you can do about that because the National Association of Realtors requires a IDX feed like this to show who the listing contact is. The sad part is in some MLSs and some boards have really strict rules about this, where that person's information, that listing agent. So if this wasn't me, if this was my website, but this is listed by somebody else, that some listing information could actually be at the top here. And, you know, it's a kind of a bummer, but that's because what the it's because of what that MLS's rules are. So if your agent has a problem with it, they need to take it up with their MLS. All right. Anyway, so long story short, this link here is not a squeeze page. This is just a link to my website. Could I, if I took this link and posted it on my Facebook page and even boosted this page or shared it to a group, could I get a lead from it? Does anybody know? Costa, tell me. If I post this link on, and I was going to put it in the chat so you guys can see it. If I post that link on social media, could I feasibly get a lead?
No.
I could actually. I could get a lead. So because you know now that you could get a lead, how could I get a lead? If I posted this link, and I'll share my screen again. I just posted that link in the chat too, so you can see it yourself. If I posted this link on social media, and now you know you could get a lead, how could you get a lead? Somebody else tell me.
Yes, possible you could get a lead for someone who's going to visit the website or who's going to click the link.
Okay, so if I post this link on Facebook, it's possible to get a lead. Do you know why it's possible?
Yes, it's because once I click that, there will be something that will pop up like information that I should, let's say my email address before I'm able to see the pictures or the details of the listing.
So for those of you that are on, and I just put the link in the chat. That's good, Jocelyn, but I want some of you to open up that link, whoever wants to click on the link and see, are you required to put in information right away or not? Or at what point are you required to put in information? Does anybody?
So I tried clicking on the link and it's required for me to either continue with my email or continue with Facebook, your Facebook account, or with my Google account.
But it didn't do it immediately, did it?
Did when I clicked the second time.
On the pictures, yes.
Yeah.
So once you click through a couple of pictures, then it will ask you to register. So thank you, Yen. Yes. So here I am. I clicked on the link. Now I could look at this whole thing and never have to register. Okay. Now, if I start clicking through pictures, you notice I'm not logged in here. I can start clicking through pictures and eventually, now it's letting me look at several, but I looked at like 3 or 4 pictures, and now it's going to ask me to register on my website. I can either put in my email address or I can log on with Facebook or Google. Okay. Now, a lot of your agents are going to say, like, why isn't it going to let me put in somebody's require a phone number and have their name and address, or their first and last name and all that right here? Well, number one, you have to think about yourself as a consumer. You know, sometimes you don't want to take all that time to give all this information just to look at something. You want to quickly just enter your email or continue your login with Facebook or Google. It's very convenient for people. So that's thing one. Thing two, if you require phone numbers, you're going to get a lot of fake phone numbers and you're going to get a lot less leads. It's just a fact. Number three, if you ask for their name, you're going to get a lot of names like Mickey Mouse and Marilyn Monroe. Okay. So what the system does when they enter their email address, if they enter with their email address, what the system does, it will validate the email. And if the person, when they set up their email address, if their person provided a first and last name of some sort, that's the name that will be validated and show in the contacts page on the CRM. If they log in with Facebook or Google, again, whatever name they have set up on those accounts will come through. Okay, so it works like that. So by default, that's how your website works. Now, when we do setups for agents, and if it's us doing the setup, I'm going to be here in the back end in the Web IDX. There's a part in here in the back end, and I want to show you this to you, where it talks about the lead generation settings. And one of these lead generation settings are, do you want to mandate the phone number or not? And if your agent does, they can turn this toggle on. But what's going to happen? They're going to get a lot less leads and a lot of fake phone numbers. Even kvCore recommends you don't do it, but I definitely recommend you don't do it. Okay. But your agent is, if they want to, they can. Okay. Second, this forced lead generation, the most strict lead generation you can do by default is normal, where you can see I could look at like 2 to 3, sometimes 4 pictures before the system asks me to register. And that is the most strict lead generation you can require by default. There's other options that I could require registration after a specified number of property use, or don't ask website visitors to register, or do prompt registration, but don't require visitors to register. I don't recommend any of that, because the whole point of this website is to generate leads. Okay, so make sure it's on normal and make sure you don't mandate phone numbers. That's my recommendation. Okay, and when we do the setups, that's what we set it on, but I want you to know that is a place you can change it. All right, so now that we kind of have a lay of the land there, let's go ahead and create a squeeze page. So let's define what a squeeze page is. Ready for the definition? The definition of a squeeze page is a lead generating link that gives directions to kvCore to tell kvCore what to do with the lead. So a squeeze page gives directions to kvCore to tell kvCore what to do with that lead, how to treat the lead. Let's go ahead and create that squeeze page. So I'm just going to go back to the listing and I'm just going to grab the MLS ID. So here I am on the back end. I'm just going to see where it says MLS ID over here. I'm just going to copy that number. And now I'm going to go to lead engine. I'm going to go build a squeeze page. So lead engine, build a squeeze page. And you'll notice another thing I want you to notice is it'll show you what domain you're working with here. So most all of you are only going to have one domain to work with. But if you're somebody who has a kvCore WordPress plugin, which I do, or you're a team leader, your agent's a team leader, or you're the admin and you have access to a lot of domains, just make sure the domain that you want to create the squeeze page on is listed here at the top. That's all you need to know. Next, you'll notice there's different types of squeeze pages. What we're concentrating on today is a single property squeeze page. A single property squeeze page promoting one listing. Okay, I want to see all your cameras here, so I'm just spreading out. this out so I can see you guys. Okay, so on the single property squeeze page for listing, I can actually type in an address to find it or just paste in the MLS ID, and there it is, it popped up. Boop. Next, I can choose a source. What source am I going to be posting the squeeze page on? And now you might be using multiple sources. You might be posting on Facebook and Google My Business and LinkedIn, multiple places. I think it's best practice to create one squeeze page for each source. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm just going to create one squeeze page right now for my Facebook page. The other thing you need to know is it gives these examples of what you might put in for source, FB or Google. Whatever source you are naming, you're going to be creating this source name. Whatever source you're creating is going to be saved as a source in the business analytics for your agent's kvCore. And so you need to decide, how am I going to always refer to Facebook, for example? Am I always going to refer to it as FB, or am I going to spell it out Facebook, one word, or am I going to have it two separate words, Facebook, or what am I doing? So whatever you decide to, call a source like Facebook, always call it the same thing. All right. So I'm going to use FB for Facebook. Next, hashtags. Who wants to be brave and tell me one purpose of a hashtag? How about this? Before I ask that question, I'm going to give you an example of what one of the hashtags I want to use for this particular squeeze page. The hashtag I want to use is I want to create a little nickname, a little abbreviation of the address, because I want to be able to easily see how I got the lead and what that person was interested in. So I'm going to do a little abbreviation of the address. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to type in the address. And I've already created this hashtag before. So there it is, it popped up. So 0 North Felch Avenue all together is the hashtag, is one hashtag I'm going to use for this squeeze page. Does anybody, now that I saw that, what's one reason or one purpose for that?
It's how you categorize users in kvCore.
Yes, Carolyn, very good. So when the lead, if somebody clicks on this link and registers on my website for the first time, this hashtag will be added to that lead. So I will easily know what they were interested in. And in the CRM, I can search for everybody who has this hashtag, and see who was interested in that property and how, what property prompted them to register on my website for the first time. So I'm going to show you an example in a minute. So that's one reason, yes, to categorize your contacts or your leads. That's one purpose for hashtag, to categorize them. Okay. So, but in this way, we're categorizing them based on what address they looked at. Another way to categorize them, if you want to make this a little broader, maybe you want to categorize by city or by county as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a category of the city. So I'm going to add another hashtag here. The city is White Cloud. So I'm going to create that hashtag, White Cloud. That's the city. So again, I can know when this person registers, they're going to get two hashtags assigned. One is the actual address, one's the city. So I know this person is interested in properties in White Cloud in general. So I can, maybe I can start marketing to people with that hashtag if I want to, because I know of other properties I want to promote to them in that city, as an example. Okay. So that's different ways to categorize lead, and you and your agent might come up with different things, but that's an example. One is the address abbreviation and one is the city, perhaps. Next, there's another purpose to hashtags in kvCore. And for those of you whose agents got my setup, you have a custom campaign, and it is called the Facebook Buyer Campaign. So if this is a squeeze page you're going to be putting on Facebook, you might want the custom campaign Facebook Buyer to be added. Can somebody tell me if I don't do anything to trigger a custom campaign, and I just take this squeeze page as it is without any other things, and I post this, and somebody registers on the website for the first time, can anybody tell me what campaign, what follow-up campaign will automatically be triggered when somebody clicks on this link that we're going to create? Does anybody know?
The default buyer campaign.
Yes.
Newly buyer campaign.
Yes, Ira's correct. All of you, I think most every agent in here has got the Presto kvCore setup or has had a setup in the past. And if that's true, then you have the default new lead default buyer campaign. It's the new lead default buyer campaign. And just by default, if anybody looks at a property on your website and they register on your website because they looked at a property for sale on your website, then they're going to be registered on your website as a new lead buyer, and they'll get the new lead buyer campaign. Okay, and that's fine. They can get that. But what if I want a custom campaign? I don't want just the regular new lead buyer campaign. I want something custom that says, hey, you clicked on a link on Facebook and I am the agent that posts that link and I want to know if you have any questions. What does that type of campaign do, or what does it do to promote a custom campaign like that? Well, because I'm a consumer and I click on a link on Facebook and then I get this random email, it's really helpful for the subject line to say something like about the property you viewed on Facebook. That's what the subject line will say, something like that, or references the property you viewed on Facebook. And so me as a consumer, I know, okay, yeah, I did click on a link on Facebook just now. I did click on that property and that's why I'm getting this message. So what does that do for the consumer? It kind of like brings down their defenses. It brings down the walls because, yeah, I did click on a property on Facebook. That's why I'm getting this message. And that's something that most people can put together. And so it might help with conversion sooner than later is the point. And again, we're going to get into this about understanding the campaigns your agents have if they got our setup. But for now, I just want you to know there is a campaign called Facebook Buyer, and I have a Facebook Buyer hashtag that I'm adding. What is this Facebook Buyer hashtag going to do? It's going to trigger my custom campaign. And for all of you whose agents have my Facebook Buyer campaign, if you use this hashtag, it will trigger that campaign when the lead comes in. So not only will it help you categorize the lead as this is somebody I got from Facebook, but it also will trigger a custom campaign. Okay. Next, very, very, very important. Property views allowed before registration, immediate. Put it on immediate. You don't want it on two. You don't want them to look at two views. You want them to immediately register before they're going to look at anything. Why? Because you want leads. Okay. And so you want to force the lead generation. If they want to see it, they got to register. Okay. So immediate registration. And then finally, we're going to generate the link. Now, you'll notice there's two types of links. We have a short link and we have a long link. You'll notice the long link has a lot of stuff in it, but I'm going to just grab this short link. I'm going to put it in a new tab up here in the new URL window, paste it. And notice you can see at the top of the link, you'll notice that the short link automatically converted to a long link, the same long link. And what is that long link? It is telling the story of the squeeze page. It's basically created code so that if somebody registers on this link, kvCore is now getting directions about what to do with the lead. Remember, that's what a squeeze page is. This is the story. The story is, this is the domain, sylviadana.exprealty.com, where the squeeze page was created. This is the MLS ID that we're promoting. PPC equals FB. That means this is the source that we're citing, FB. And then ADDHT means add hashtags. What hashtags are added? These three: 0 North Felch Avenue, White Cloud, and Facebook Buyer. Those are the hashtags that are going to be added to the lead. And then what is the timing 1, meaning immediate registration. So that's what the squeeze page is. And now I know it works and it's there. But the first thing I want to do is I want to save the squeeze page. Okay. And an easy way to save it is to save it in the tracker. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the short link. The short link is easier to save because it's short. Okay. And remember, that's okay, because when I paste the link in the new URL window, it's going to automatically convert to the long link. So that's good. But I'm going to go ahead and now reference my squeeze page we just created. So what day is it? Today is December 7th. What type of squeeze page is this? This is the single property squeeze page. What's the description? The description is this is 0 North Felch Avenue. And if I feel like putting in the MLS ID, I will, but I don't right now. And then what's the short link? I'm going to put the short link right here, like so. Boop. There it is. There's the short link. Where am I going to post this? Anywhere on Facebook. As long as it's on Facebook, it's okay, because we're going to have the Facebook buyer campaign. And that leads me to what hashtags did we add? Well, we created the hashtag 0 North Felch Avenue was one hashtag. So I'm referencing this. Facebook buyer was another hashtag. And we also added the hashtag white cloud for the city. This is the date I created the squeeze page. This is the type of squeeze page it is. This is the address. And we'll go ahead and add the MLS ID. I got to write it down because I didn't copy it first. Sorry. So I'm just going to do this by hand. 22028302. Okay. I don't know that you need to do the MLS ID, but sometimes it is good to reference so you don't have to hunt for it if you need it later. Okay. So that's the description. It is my listing. So if this was somebody else's listing I was promoting, I might add whose listing it is or what brokerage it is, but it's mine. So I'm going to just leave it. The source is FB. These are the hashtags. I'm going to post it anywhere on Facebook. Here's the short link. So now I've got this referenced. Okay. And I've saved it. Now let's say, okay, now I'm ready to promote the squeeze page. Let's go ahead and do that. Before I do that, I just want to mention one thing though. Back here, when I get off of this, if I get off of this the creating a squeeze page, you know, it's not going to be there anymore. It's not saved there now. I can't go back and edit the squeeze page later or anything like that. There is an option for history where if you click on history, and sort the date here, it'll show you the most recent squeeze page you made. It'll show you, okay, it's single property. There's the MLS ID. Here's the hashtags, and you can view it or copy it. But when you view it or copy it, it's not going to give you the short link anymore. It's only going to be the long link, and you're not going to be able to edit it or have any other information there. So it's there, but I like it on creating it on your own reference guide, so to speak, or your own template, so you can really track what you're doing and more easily in one place. Now what we're going to do is we're going to post it on Facebook. So I'm going to go to my Facebook. Now, your agent may or may not have the new page experience. Most agents, their pages are being just automatically upgraded or downgraded. I call it the upgraded to the new page experience, and it's kind of a bear. But we're going to talk about this going forward, but I don't have time today. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch into my own business page here. I'm going to click on manage. And then from here on the back end on the left-hand side, I'm going to go here into Meta Business Suite. And there's all kinds of different ways to do this stuff, by the way. So I'm just kind of showing you like the simplest, most direct way right now, and we can get into more nuances later. I'm just going to go ahead and just do it from here. I'm just going to create a post. Okay. So I'm going to click on create post. And now I'm going to go to my little lead generation tracker here I'm creating, and I'm going to click on my short link I just created, and it's going to automatically take me to the long link. So I'm going to grab this long link. It's a best practice to use the long link to post on the socials. Okay, best practice. So I'm going to take that long link, and I'm going to post it. So I'm going to just write some gobbledygook here, and then pray to the social media gods and the Facebook gods that my link previews. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. It previewed. It previewed, yay. And now I'm going to get rid of my gobbledygook. Really, you can't just post this here. You got to say something. You got to say something to make people want to click. All right. Now I just have like kind of a simple formula. And the first formula is just give it some sort of headline. All right. So I'm going to just say hunting land for sale. Okay. And then I'm going to put White Cloud, Michigan. And then I'm going to put some emojis. So I am going to find, you got it. This takes time, but you got to do it. I'm going to find, let's see, some deer. I'm going to find some deer, and where's my little deer at? There's my deer, and I'm going to find some rabbits, and I'm going to find maybe some ducks. Where are some ducks and turkeys? It's like a bird. Okay, there's a duck, and then is there any turkeys somewhere? I'm looking. There's eagles. We don't hunt eagles. That's bad. There's a turkey. Okay, so I've got some like little animals here. Maybe I could find like an arrow or like a gun. I don't really want a gun, but maybe an arrow, like a bullseye type thing.
There's one in the sports area.
In the sports. Oh, thank you. Is that under here, you think? Or oh, there it is. Thank you. So hunting land for sale. I got my little arrow, hunting land for sale, White Cloud, Michigan. Okay. And then we're going to say some stuff about it. Now we're going to do some bullet points, and you can do bullet points. I could use the duck as a bullet point, the little targets as a bullet point. You know, whatever. I kind of like my little green check marks. So I'm just going to do my little green check marks and say some stuff. So 35 acres. And I'm going to say, pond, has a pond on it, has a creek running through it. I'm going to say, and it has 2 hay/alfalfa fields. I'm going to say 4 minutes from Diamond Lake. I'm going to say 3 hunting blinds. This is some stuff I already know about it. And outhouse. And I think there's an old camper on it, but I'm not going to talk about that. So there's some things it has. Okay. And maybe I could say some more stuff about, you know, I'm going to put more in the description, like what a great opportunity to get this blah, 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 blah. Okay. But you know, I'm not going to say that. I could say too, I could put like the price, what it's listed for. I could do all that kind of things, but I'm not going to do it right now. And I'm just going to say, follow, let's say, click the link to learn more and schedule a showing. Let's say I'll say tour because it's property, something like that. And then now if this was not my own listing, we'll get into this down the road, but just let me tell you, in the state of Michigan where I am, I can promote any other brokerage's listing that I want to, and any other agent's listing I want to, as long as I mention who the listing brokerage is. This is my own listing, so I don't need to do that. If you're not sure about this, whose listings to promote, because maybe your agent doesn't have a lot of their own listings or any of their own listings to promote, you can be 99.9% safe to just promote other listings in the same brokerage. If you have more questions about that, ask the agent you're working with. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to just leave it at that. And I'm just going to publish it. I can also schedule it. I could save it as a draft, but I'm going to publish it. I'm going to tell you just by publishing this on my, on my Facebook business page is really going to do nothing for me. It's going to do basically zero. Okay. So I do recommend sharing that post to local Facebook groups, which we're going to get into next week. And boosting the post for like $10. And we're going to get into that next week. But what I'm going to do is give you for homework. I'm going to give you this video to watch. It kind of reviews how to create, post, and boost a kvCore squeeze page with a new page experience. So this is something you can review and go over. And I talk more about the boosting and sharing to Facebook groups. I talk about it here, but we're going to revisit it. All right. So any questions based on what I shared today? Yes, Carolyn.
If we if we put these ads up on the personal Facebook page and then share it with the business page, is that no good? So you don't get
No.
the analytics when you do that, right?
Yeah, you want to post it on the business page,
Yeah.
and then especially if it's your own listing, then share it to your personal profile. Like I'll do that with my own listings from time to time, but not a ton because Facebook doesn't like it. I was going to show you one other thing really fast. We were talking about categorizing contacts. So I wanted to just show you, I've promoted that property a few times now. So I'm going to go into my Smart CRM and my filters, and I want to find all of those contacts that have that hashtag, because that means they registered on a squeeze page when they saw me post that property. And I boosted the property. I shared the property in Facebook groups. I've shared it lots of places. So let's look for this hashtag. I'm going to search it here. There it is. Boop. And now I'm going to apply the filter. So it's going to show me all of those contacts that have that hashtag. So these are all the people. I mean, I've gotten a lot of leads from this property. Can't believe it. I have 103. 103 leads from promoting this property since I had it in August or July. So I've had it for a while, so I keep promoting it, but I'm getting a lot of leads from it. And I've not spent that much money at all. Anyway, that's an example. And I can find out now. I can keep marketing that group of people, say, hey, this property's still for sale. To end, I just want to point you in a couple directions. I've given you the kvCore squeeze page lead generation template that has more training on it. And I want to point you to the Xanadu training, and because it's going to give you more help on this. Okay, so I'm going to go, when you're logged into the Sylvia system here on my Kajabi platform, put that in the chat, you will know you're logged in when you see my library. When you see my library, that means everything that you have access to, you'll be able to find. And what I want you to find is I want you to find the Xanadu series. Looks like this, Xanadu kvCore Training Complete series. So this is a lead generation workshop where I talk about what is a squeeze page, all the different types of squeeze pages you can creating a multi-property squeeze page, seller squeeze page, market verse squeeze page, single property squeeze page, posting, boosting on Facebook. Now, this particular training is still good, but it's older. The one that I just posted in the chat with for my YouTube channel, this is a newer training on using the Facebook page experience for posting and boosting. So just FYI. I also talk about even getting support for your Facebook and business account, which is also a little bit outdated now. That's why I got to redo all my training. But that training I just posted for my YouTube channel will help you. More training, finding listings to promote in kvCore, how to do that, how to join Facebook groups and share posts. I also talk about how to build landing pages and posting them on Facebook. I also have more training in here on creating lead generation links and tools for as it relates to behavior alerts and the SMART number and call capture codes. I also talk more about the difference between like free leads and paid leads. So this Xanadu training is going to be really important for you as homework, along with this video, along with the actual kvCore template itself. So what I want you to do as homework is review the Xanadu series, watch this how to create and post and boost on Facebook new page experience if you haven't yet, or it's still not clear to you. And then start working in this template that you created and start building squeeze pages. Feel good? Are you excited? Some people are. Okay, good. All right. You will get an email follow up with the homework in it as well. In addition, you'll get a link to this training. It'll be a Vimeo link so you can watch it without having to hunt for it. But then within about 48 hours, it'll also be uploaded as another session on our Magic Wand course. And that Magic Wand course has previous training in it. You're welcome to check out. We're just doing all new training now in your library. The Magic Wand course, if I can find it. Here it is. It has a bunch of sessions from previously, but you'll start seeing the new sessions being added at the top. Okay, starting at the top. So anyway, that's that. I hope this was fun for you. I hope this is helpful. And just to give you, to tell you kind of a couple things that are coming that I'm excited about, my VAs are going to be training some of you guys on a couple things. One is going to be Cha. She's going to be teaching 2 segments in the next few weeks. One's going to be on how to create a social media calendar. How she creates a social media calendar for me, like her whole process from creating the calendar, making me check it, creating the posts, what the posts are going to say, what the links are going to be, using Canva or PicMonkey, finding the content to create. She's going to go over all that. That's going to be a whole session. And she's going to do another session she's going to do is how she helps me grow my YouTube channel using TubeBuddy. And doing thumbnail A/B tests, all kinds, searching keywords, all that kind of stuff. We're also, Shell is going to be doing a segment on how she creates SOPs, standard operating procedures for creating email templates in Gmail, for example. Yen is going to be teaching how she helps me convert seller leads by doing research in tools like RPR and how she goes through that process and what happens. And Gina Marie and I will both be continuing to just teach more things about kvCore itself, working in kvCore every day, working with your database, working with your leads and all that kind of stuff.